While the spotlight remains firmly on Brexit today as Prime Minister Boris Johnson looks to convince members of Parliament to back his plans for a general election on December 12. He says if his motion is approved, his Brexit bill would resume its progress through Parliament until that is dissolved on November 6. Well, Juliana is in our London studios and brings us update from there. Hello, Juliana. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chimeze.
All right. So how well are the markets digesting the future direction of Brexit?
Well, you know, I don't want to echo too much of what Chelsea was saying in Frankfurt, but the markets have been here before. You know, they had everybody was waiting in the city to see whether or not, you know, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister's do or die October the 31st, would do anything, and it hasn't. So, yes, in a way, it's a kind of good thing, at least, that we know that there will be a 31st of January extension. However, the ball is all in Parliament's court, and we'll see today whether or not, you know, Boris Johnson can get that December the 12th election. So at the moment, it seems as if everybody is just waiting and seeing in the city. Let's look at those numbers specifically. The FTSE All-Share is down 0.16% at intraday. The FTSE 100 is down 0.19%, and the FTSE 250 slightly up at 0.07% in currencies. The British pound is up on the dollar by 0.12%, down on the euro by 0.10%, and up on the Japanese yen by 0.11%.
And in one big corporate news there, the billionaire twins who own the Reed's Hotels wants to sell this iconic facility and also plans to unload the Telegraph Media Group. How much more of this can you tell us?
This is quite an interesting story, Chimeze, because it's highly speculative, because the Barclays twin brothers, they have failed to comment on anything of this. But in the UK, you know, a lot of your company information is public, so a lot of journalists have been scrambling to find these details. But yes, they own several big conglomerates in the UK, one of them being the Ritz Hotel. They also own the Telegraph Media Group and the Yodel delivery service, as well as Sports Online, which is a retail factor. And they have apparently, these are the Sir David and Sir Alex have brought in some regulators to basically look at how they can save money over the next 18 months. They bought the Ritz Hotel for £75 million in 1995, and it's apparently worth over £800 million. And their overheads over the past couple of years have been increasingly high, and the brothers have had to put in a lot of their money. So they're looking to sell that off, and they would get a really good profit for that. Another one of their empires that are up for sale is the Telegraph Media Group. And we all know globally that advertising and circulation revenues amongst publications have been increasingly on the decline. Now, we know that the Daily Mail Group, which is pretty much a conservative newspaper, they've put in a bid, apparently, not up to the £600 million of which the brothers paid for it, but they've put a sizable chunk of that up. And apparently this has been rebuffed, but it is one of the franchises that they do want to give up. And also as well, their online retail company, the PPI, the Payment Protection Insurance, that has hit a lot of banks. It's also hit a lot of online retail companies, and apparently they had to fork out £100 million, which they're not happy for. So there are several of their companies up for bid, and over the next couple of days, it'll be interesting to see if any more information will come out of this, because, of course, worth an estimated £6 billion, the Barclays brothers are a huge, huge part of Britain's successful business empire.
Well, I guess it's a developing story there. Let's continue to keep a tab on that. And we're still on corporate news there. HSBC has reported worse than expected third quarter profits. Now, what's the outlook on earnings this week, particularly the banks?
Well, yes, of course, HSBC, their shares were down about 3.9% at early trading when they announced their Q3 profit loss of about 18%. Another big one, what we're expecting this week, Chimmy, is Lloyds Bank. They are going to be releasing their third quarter results on Thursday. A lot of people will be keeping a close eye on Lloyds because Lloyds is the biggest mortgage lender, and the housing sector has really suffered over this entire Brexit uncertainty. And of course, we saw it last week with RBS and Barclays. They were really hit with those PPI, those payment protection insurance, the mis-selling of insurance over 10 years, which was one of the biggest banking scandals we've had here in the UK. Now, lots of last-minute claims in that did see almost £1 billion wiped off of each of those big banks, and there are lots of forecasters that are expecting that to hit Lloyds, as well, of course, of this Brexit and political uncertainty. So lots of eyes will be focused on Thursday, Chimezie.
Right, I see it's a busy week for business. Let's continue to keep a tab on them. Thank you, Juliana.